And good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. How are we all doing today? I just want us to go through one or two things this morning. I received series of advice about the response or the video that I made about why is such. Though I told some of us that no matter what, I will do try my best to keep on responding or to react on some of the nonsense that she's preaching and trying to drag me down, just like she have done to other people. But that's not the main issue here. The only thing I want to tell us is that I will follow it, based on how the spirit leads. You understand? It is true that I'm not known for going out on trying to go toe to toe with anybody trying to explain or analyze somebody who actually talk about me. She's not the only one that talked about me, to be honest with you. But the only difference is that she tried to drag my family to the nonsense. That's why I try my best to touch her own issue. But many of you already know who she is and what she stands for. So there's no point going back and forward on that. Now I want to say something, but before then, I would like to like this video and subscribe to the channel in case if you're new. If you are aware of what is going on, people are pretending that they don't know what Fallback group and their group are trying to do. Some of you don't remember the how the whole thing started. Or maybe you think that people just wake up one day and begin to call them names and trying to call your attention on all the activities. If you remember how the whole thing started, it shouldn't be an issue to you. In fact, you will not get lost. But some of us, one thing happened, you forget another. You just wipe away what happened before from your memory, which is not supposed to be. Sometimes it's good for you to remember the problem. If you want to solve a problem, try your best to find the root cause of that problem. Then it will help you to stop the problem or to know what to do about it. Now, why am I saying this? I've seen some people criticizing, why is it that government are not talking about the upcoming protests in Finland. It should be a protest, like to protest in favor or in support, just like solidarity to PM to make sure that everything happened fast and for Finland to know that PM is not alone, that he represents, people. Now, that is a good idea, but my question to that is, who are those planning it and what is the intention? That is why you see it's a sensitive issue, right? That is why I don't talk about it much. Not that I'm against it, I'm not against it, but we need to start telling ourselves the truth. And you who want freedom and you claim that you are Biafran, you want Biafran to come, you want everybody to get it right. One thing you supposed to know is to identify truth when you see one. That's number one. Number two, know who are consistent in doing that which will enable you to have what you want. Third, avoid those who are investing much power and more strength in doing propaganda to talk down on another people because they've perceived that person as their opponent. Therefore, they felt that talking down on them is the best way to go. If you don't count on those things that I just said now, you will end up being in a cabal, which you end up being a kind of tissue paper in their hands. They will use you and dump you because the ability to become someone or what differentiates you with other animal as a human being is your ability to reason and to think. You have to think, you have to reason. But if you don't do these two things, especially thinking, if you don't do that, you are just like inanimate object that anybody can use and dump. Now, the fallback group said that the inauguration coming up, okay, very soon in Washington D.C., where new office or head office of Biafra, United States of Biafra, will be inaugurated, will be open in Washington D.C. Some of them are criticizing that, calling that name because they know the importance of that office. You may ask, what happened to the previous office? These are the part of the problem that we're talking about. Almost everything that CS is doing today, or USB is doing today, are something that PM have actually solved in the past. PM we all know don't cannot support redeclaration of Biafra when you don't have structure and what it takes to pilot that declaration. He don't do that. But when you touch the people that fall back republic, what are they telling you? You see there are people trying to defend it. Like one guy that called my program a few days ago was busy trying to explain to people why you must fall back and the reason. In fact, if you pay attention to what he said, you end up regretting why you declared Biafra. You see it now because everything he said that you cannot just declare Biafra and stand on that declaration. First in human history, that where a group of people declare their identity, declare who they are to people, and decide to go back, telling you that we just declare it for mere declaration, we just declare it, then we now start fighting, meaning that this is a new way of sabotage. It has never done before. Mention one country that formed government in exile and declared their and and decided to declare their real name, then go back to bear the name they are answering in exile. When you declare Biafra, simply means that you have come of age to tell the whole world, this is my name, this is what we stand on. Do you know the meaning of declaration? You declare that this is how it will be. This is how you stand. This is what you believe on. This is who you are. That is declaration. You declare what you want. You declare who you are. You declare your identity to people who may not appreciate or see you as that, or people who don't even have any iota of idea about your name, about where you're coming from. But immediately you declare that, that is what you want people to know you for. You want people to know you about as of that. When you listen to the argument, you understand that people following them are in two categories. One, those who are kind of accomplished, people who are benefiting something just like their leader are benefiting, or people who lack everything, what it takes to identify who you are or to know that this is who I am. All this thing going on now is not something that anybody should be proud of. We agree, we know. But the thing is that you cannot ignore those facts simply because you don't want people to see you as somebody who is dragging issue with anybody, or you are talking about somebody. Ndị Igbo na-ekwekwa that na n'ebe oke omume nọ, onye ekwurekwu na-anọdewe ya. What does that mean? If you begin to act anyhow, anytime you wake up and act anyhow, of course, what you are attracting to yourself is people that will talk about what you have done. You cannot just go to market and naked yourself and blame people for noticing that you are naked. It is not their fault. Market is a place where you don't need to close your eyes, because you have to open your eyes to see what you want to buy or what you want to sell, to make sure that you are there to do the need for what you are there in the market to do. You coming to the market to naked yourself, you are the one who want people to see your nakedness. If you want to lead as an Igbo man, as a Biafran, you need to do one thing. Learn how to be truth. Learn how to appreciate what is good. Learn how to always say the truth. Our people don't joke with the truthfulness. There's no way you will lead or pilot any affair that has to do with our people genuinely, and you expect people to just overlook those elements, those things that is very clear to them that this is how it should be, which is say the truth. Tell us the truth. Some of you trying to, defend undefendable. The mistake you guys are making is that you think that the way you reason is normal. You think that the way you think is the best way to do it. You see somebody who don't even have proper identity, you are jumping around on the person, trying to protect and trying to defend. You see another person, you see somebody who cannot even present himself as a leader. The charisma, because you want him you want to dethrone a woman, a woman. You despise it. You don't want to see a woman leading or being the helm of affair. You don't want to say that. The only thing you want to do, that means you are ready to accept anything at all as a leader, as long as it has nothing to do with the woman. None of you have accepted this. All of you that I've called their names and said similar thing have actually responded by saying, "How can you say that we hate her because of she's a woman?" No, we don't hate her. But why? Tell me what has she done from day one? That argument is funny. You are questioning her. Has she done all this while in 4 months? The question is, if from day one, did you give her your support? You know, right? Then why are you questioning what you have done? Why don't we go back to when she started? Where is your support? You don't support her from day one because then you cannot say what you're saying and like what has she done? Because she just started. But from day one, you don't believe her. People who may say that thing that you put that question are those who gave her support and decided to step back. You know them, right? They have right to start that kind of thing. And the answer is there. The answer is, why don't you ask yourself, what did she start up with when everything has been hijacked? And those who hijacked it then publicly bragged about it. You see now, you cannot. Do you know why in Nigerian circle, Nigerian politics, when a new governor is after election, after inauguration or swearing in of a new governor or a president, the president will the predecessor of the person will come back and try to one of the like the outgoing governor or outgoing president we come to the person. They have to sit down to talk about what is the budget, not budget, the money in the account and how just to hand over some of the things. If they go down, because Nigeria should be different from America. America, everything must be, well organized and everything well arranged, so that even though they may not come together if they have any issue, but the truth is that everything that has to do with that outgoing government will be made known to the new one. The new one will know what he's running, what he or she is using to start up his own regime. But Ogenkere, who is not even former leader, connive with those that government trusted their information in their hands and use that to make sure that COS is frustrated. The war surrogate was given to her. None of them have come out to deny there's nothing like that, apart from this woman who is something else. All right, the virus of our time. Apart from her, who actually preached that the surrogate was given to her, and she was telling their friend that that is truth, swearing and everything. So we are used to that. Like I said, I am trying to understand. Like I said, I cannot promise you anything about what I'm gonna do going forward about her case. I may continue, I may withdraw. But the only thing I want to say is that withdrawing, if I withdraw, it does not mean that I'm not gonna be talking about her. I will be talking about, like, you see, talking about her or not talking about her doesn't really count. If you can reason, do I reason? Because no matter what you say, it cannot cure her madness. Her madness has beyond, is now way too beyond talk. She needs some tablet and some injection. That is not the fact. So, but I'm not here to talk about it because I'm not a physician. So, people who know how to, diagnose how we do that, medical practitioners, they know how to do that. In fact, COS have go to her platform. You see on X, she actually, she have diagnosed her from afar. Imagine what she have done her from afar. If she will bring this researcher to her office, she will give her proper real medication. No, I'm not capping. But that's a story for another day. People who don't understand what she started with are those publicly criticizing her, thinking that they're doing the right thing. Like I said, it's not about what you think, it's about how good, how well everything that PM put in place. How many of them did she start with? The office in Maryland was hijacked. Ogekere is there now. How did he get there? Because the man lives in Maryland. And that's why the office was open in Maryland, because I assume, this is my own statement, like my own opinion. Maybe they use his name to to register that place, to rent it. Do you understand? Maybe. So by the document, the signature, everything, signatory, everything will be in his name. That is why it is so easy for him. Those that PM handover that are in charge of website, he said to took side and join him. Today, they have hijacked it and to support him. Just like what Isocha is bragging about now, that she have hijacked the account, like the money that the Biafrans in Finland donated for a particular purpose. And that money was not donated to give to Ginkere Fallback group. If you Because I have heard some people saying that that you don't bring her to court, you're gonna lose the case. It's a lie. If you bring a proper lawyer, she does no way she will not pay dearly, and she know that's why she preaching. For you not to bring her to the court. One of the tactics is to remind you, hey, go to court now. People that are very eager to tell you to let's go to court, sue me, they will end up losing the case because they're not even a lawyer. And it could be charge and bail lawyer that advised them. You donated for a purpose. What is the purpose of the donation of the money? And when the group that you donated the money, believing that that group has been compromised, is no longer the same. That is another different issue. You cannot just, is there any division in the group? Yes, right? Now, when you donated that money, you donated it for a purpose. What is the purpose? Who was the leader when you donated the money? Did you donate the money on behalf of Oginkere regime? You see, because if you're not a lawyer, you may not understand. I'm not a lawyer either, but common sense will tell you that until you go to court and iron it out, you may not understand. Look for a very sound lawyer to advise you on that. If you want, I'm not saying you should take anybody to court. I'm just giving you, just trying to reply those who claim that if you go to court, you lose. No, if you are not a lawyer, you're not a lawyer. I don't believe that. Even though I'm not a lawyer, I don't believe that. But I believe that the best way to know, look for a good lawyer, sound one, not a charge and bell. A lawyer that have profile will tell you what to do, and I believe we ask some questions that will enable you. Though it's not that I'm ignorant about anything about law. I have basic idea or knowledge about it. But the only thing I'm telling you is that you cannot sit in your house and conclude that this is how it is. No, you need to, because every country have their own law. I don't know about France, but that's the truth from that day. So you can see that people who government or US PM trusted, handed over some of the activities or documents, Biafrans got documents for them to be in the head and all that, have decided to side whoever they want to side, using people's property to do that, and they are beating their chest, telling you that they have right, they did it right. I don't believe you did not. That's fraudulent. You cannot just claim that the people who are in charge of website did the same thing. All of them from A to Z hijack everything. Enter Biafra was given to Sana Barawa. Today he hijacked it. All these things, you may say yes, he's right because he's still a briggy. Who is the leader? What is the motive? Enter Biafra is not Biafran property, is PM's property. I'm watching from afar. Because PM was the one that built it. I don't know if he built it with his money or money that Biafran could. I did not see any time PM or call for fundraising to build platform Enter Biafra. I did not watch that. Maybe you guys have seen that, but I did not see that part. So that's why I believe that it belonged to PM. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that everything going on now, people blaming CS, what have you done? What is the achievement? Blah, blah, blah. Should go back to the beginning and begin to analyze what happened. How did we get here? All these things that is eating money now, is it what's supposed to be? PM have built all those things before. But for the fact that somebody hijacked it just to frustrate. You remember when Buhari told Goodluck Jonathan that he will frustrate his government, that I will make your government ungovernable. Did he do that? Yes, he did. That was why they formed Boko Haram. So all this thing is what you need to understand. Some people say that he did not say that, but remember, Boko Haram started from Goodluck Jonathan's tenure. All right, they were planning little bit during the before Yaradua by, but they started up their main operation during Goodluck Jonathan, where they started going to churches in Abuja, testing their strength. When they know that Christian couldn't do anything, they advanced it to other states. And look at it today. Today is no longer Boko Haram. They have advanced it and modernized it, creating different. As we are talking about bandit now, as we are talking about Fulani herdsmen, the metaphors from that to bandit. As we are still talking about bad bandit now, the recent one is hunters, and Ishwab and the other one are operating in the north. You see, they keep on testing now hunters. Before you know it, now it could be another name, and those ones will have different operation. So hunters are now in charge of bush as people are trying to criticize Fulani herdsmen. They enable Fulani herdsmen just to try to wipe away the name of the Fulani herdsmen and replace it with the bandit. And the people seem to have noticed that it's truly is bandit. Then they are now coming with the dogs and and the stick as hunters. But the truth is, they are hunting who? You could be hunters, but because they don't tell us what kind of bushmeat they want to hunt. That's a story for another day anyway. Please, I just want to make this quick video for you to understand, everything. Like I've touched a few things this morning. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll be coming back. Thank you and God bless you.